Welcome into TFW Live, the best kept secret in fantasy football, where we keep that week one feeling going all year long. This is episode 361, and we're going to be talking week 13 waiver wire. A lot of big names, not big names per se, but a lot of big question marks going into this week. We've got a lot of things to figure out, and that's why, we're on the precipice of the playoffs here for the fantasy football season, and it's time to get into these waivers. I didn't want to miss this, even though I'm feeling a little under the weather. I got Donnie with me. We're going to take care of it, but before we do, I want to let you know that support for TFW Live is brought to you by Manscaped. Manscaped is the best in the men's below-the-waist grooming products, and their products are precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Manscaped's Performance Package is the ultimate in the hygiene bundle, and you can join the 6 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer for you, 20% off plus free shipping worldwide, with the promo code TFWMAN at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping with the code TFWMAN. Got to bring in my guy Donnie here, who is a trooper and heading with me. And look, before the show,
wide.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, I was cracking up.
I thought you'd come in there with a little bit of that.
I was trying, but I kept laughing.
wide.
I didn't want to ruin it.
So before we get on the show, Whisper Nation, peek behind the curtains. Donnie comes on with this just epic sweater he's got going on right here. And he had cashmere on last night.
No, I was going to compliment you.
And awesome. Then so I had to go grab this because I was just wearing the plain gray shirt. And during the break, as we came on, I went and grabbed it. But that is Donnie Tubbs. You can find him on Twitter.
Old man cardigan.
No, I love it.
Yeah.
It's very Mr. Rogers of you, and I appreciate that. All right. That's Donnie Tubbs. You can find him on Twitter at DonFlicked, as you see there. I'm Big Travie. You can find me on Twitter at Big Travie TFW. I just got to say what's up to Whisper Nation in here, showing up right now. Albert, Jersey J, Emmanuel, what's up, everybody? Happy week 13. Let's get lucky number week 13. Let's get into these waivers.
Hopefully it's
first. Yeah, we need it as we try to get into this playoffs.
Oh, man.
Gotta give a shout out to all those YouTube members over on YouTube with the $5 monthly subscription. Radaris Chambers, Hanimal, Gus Ramos, Don Caples, Nick, Brett Zabo, John Credit, Eric Lorenzen, Donnie Tubbs, and Jersey J. If you want to join that growing list, hit join next right to the video right now if you are on desktop. If you're not on desktop, switch to desktop, click join, come back.
Click it.
At the end of the show, not only are we going to get to all your questions as we see our guy, Jersey J, he knows the drill. He says, please answer my questions at the end of the episode. We will, of course. If you want instant access to questions, hit that super chat. We are a hoe for the dough, so we will definitely get that question answered. If you want to save money, we will get to it at the end. But also what we're doing at the end tonight, Donnie, we are giving away that Treylon Burks signed helmet, mini helmet, and that'll be happening at the end of this show. Maybe you didn't get the touchdown for Treylon Burks as he chased down Derrick Henry and there was a fumble and he got on top of it. Some platforms didn't.
That play was weird.
Some platforms didn't score that for him, so maybe you didn't, maybe you did. Either way, you can score this helmet right here by signing up on Patreon. That link is in the description or going to patreon.com/The Fantasy Whispers. You do that by the end of the show, you can get into this giveaway. Right now we got 10 members in there.
I'll go run and grab it and show you before we give it away too. But it's in the hallway.
Show you the helmet.
I'll wait. Yeah, I'll wait.
He's not going to show you anything else.
Yeah,
not on this stream. You got to pay extra.
You got to head over to the other link.
Yeah,
that's not in the
Fantasy Whispers After Dark.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, so Donnie, look, I'm going to be a little bit of a struggle bus today with my voice. So
I'm right here with you.
I'm going to let you talk a little bit about you. You came onto the show saying you're not as impressed with some of the names of the waiver wire crop.
I'm not only not as impressed. I'm feeling less informed. I'm seeing these names and I'm like, I've been going through a wedding and working a little more than I thought because I'm a little like I'm not sure. So I've been like behind the scenes the last 15 minutes and so just like on my phone trying to get through it all.
Yeah. So the biggest name here, and we'll start to share the screen here because I think it's about time we hop into this. As we do, we start with the running backs because that is the thirstiest position we've got, right? That is the position that really dictates your success in fantasy football most of the time. So bear with me as I have this here. Try to get this up and roll in here.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I was gonna say I went old man cardigan. You went lumberjack sexy.
Yeah, and I had to bust out, like, I got the tea rolling for my voice and my throat. What's
There
up,
you go.
Radaris? Into the chat. How's it going? And I got the little the little Bigfoot.
Was it Bigfoot? It looked
yeah.
like I thought it was Hagrid.
That would work too. I kind of look like Hagrid. Rest in peace to the actor that played Hagrid. Eric Z, Easy Daddy in the chat, who's also in the listener league. We got a full house tonight. Drop those waiver questions in here. Let's check it out. Okay. And I said I was going to share this, and I didn't. I stopped doing
You
that.
just took a sip of your tea and said, that's more important. You got to make that throat feel better, man.
I'm trying, dude. All right. Let's get this on the screen here. Okay, so as you can see, or maybe you can't because it's a little bit
it's a little pretty clear on this end.
Yeah, you got it. So Zonovan Knight is our number one added running back right now. And if we go to the whole shebang, he's the number one added player.
Number one overall.
We'll start at running back here because we've got quite a bit of things going on.
So I'll start off. I'm
going
to start off with Zonovan Knight real fast because this is when I saw his name. I was like, I heard a little bit about James Robinson being out, and I thought it was an injury. But I mean, we were just before the show started, we were researching it, and it seemed to be a healthy scratch. And then Zonovan Knight came in, and he was efficient, man. 14 carries, 69 yards, a 4.93 average, 3 targets, 3 receptions, 34 yards receiving. I mean, that's pretty efficient for coming in and out of nowhere. So I can see why he's the number one ad this week.
Yeah, and it's really about that Michael Carter went down with the ankle injury. We talked about James Robinson being a healthy scratch. We talked at the trade deadline. I don't know if you remember that show, Donnie, that James Robinson was probably dealing with a knee injury as it was, as it were. So that's a situation that gets a little bit sketchy, if you will, because you don't – look, every backfield is going to have the same thing tonight that we talk about. It's all like it could be muddled. It could be weird. It's a lot of what ifs. So basically, we'll try to talk through the scenarios. And Whisper Nation, it's going to be on you because at the end of the day, it's not my lineup. It's not Donnie's lineup. It's your guys' lineup. So we can talk through this. We'll give you our advice. But, like as the great Matt Berry says, you only have yourself to blame. You're setting your lineup. You're getting it going. So we'll go from there. Excuse me, Whisper Nation. I appreciate you bearing with me in my voice tonight. So we'll get going. As Donnie said, Zonovan Knight was solid. 14 for 69, nice on the ground. 3 for 34 through the air, and he had he didn't have a touchdown, but he totaled that 103 yards.
Yeah, and it was efficient. I mean, it's really efficient, and like you said, Michael Carter going out also, but Michael Carter is only a low ankle sprain, so I don't see him missing much time, but.
And we saw this in the 3 games last year with Mike White. He targeted the backs quite a bit. So that's why Ty Johnson becomes a little bit interesting for me. He himself, though, scored the rushing touchdown, 5 for 62 on the ground. In a PPR, if you're desperate, in our listener league where you're looking for multiple flex because it's a quad flex, he's a guy to remember that could be your backup if you don't get Zonovan Knight. Now, the number 2 added guy here, Donnie, is Benny Snell. We watched a little bit of this game last night together with Whisper Nation. Benny Snell, Anthony McFarland were already working in before Najee Harris exited, and he was out by half and basically declared out by the end of the halftime show. So how are you feeling about the Pittsburgh situation?
Oh, man, it's gross. It's gross.
You're going to kill me over
there. All right. I mean, Najee's always been a great talent, but he's been gross in this offense. It's been rough. And these two guys, I mean, I said on the show last night, like Benny Snell and McFarland kind of just look like if Najee just shedded his body as a shell and these guys had walked out because they all look really similar. They all have the dreads and they're just a little bit smaller than Najee. That being said, the 41% snap share, I'm trying to see McFarland real fast if he overtook that snap share at all. So McFarland at 30. So if Najee's out, I like Benny Snell, I guess. I mean, who are they versus next week? Atlanta. Yeah, it's a good matchup. I wouldn't mind having it for a week filler if you need a spot start somewhere for a flex or RB2.
Yeah, and we're getting here to week 13 where you're getting desperate for any kind of running back play that you can get. So I think that Benny Snell is a fine ad as you're looking at it. Okay, now we get even murkier because I want to skip JaMychal Hasty here because we talked about Travis Etienne.
I like that.
And we talked about that it was kind of like it's mild. He could have been cleared to play. My only concern, and I saw it a little bit around Twitter today, my only concern here, Donnie, is that they could end up using the conservative nature to protect ETN for down the road. Work in JaMychal Hasty. Remember, they claim Darrell Henderson. So if Darrell Henderson is sitting on your waiver wire and you want to pick up somebody that I think could be better than JaMychal Hasty, I think it's Darrell Henderson.
What scares me about Hasty is ETN is a receiving talent, right? That's what we've been saying for years. But we haven't seen much of
years.
For years. And now we're seeing his brother do work like in college. But back to ETN. Hasty had, I think, the 5 targets, right? And he just looked great as a receiving back. So what if they just like don't even ever start using ETN as the receiving back that we all hoped and dreamed of? And that's what scares me most about it. But going back to what you said, the safer pick for fantasy, I do believe, would be Henderson.
Yeah, so we're looking at Henderson and Hasty, and then obviously this could all be for naught because ETN just gets back to the full workload.
Yeah.
But I will tell you right now, they took ETN off the field and they wouldn't put him back in because why? He had already had this Liz Frank injury. It shut him down for all of last year. They didn't want to chance it. What makes you think they're going to rush him back to the same workload that he had before? And that's 100%. What scares me with ETN right now.
100%. And I just looked at ETN's receiving. He only got 5 targets, as much as JaMychal Hasty got this game twice this season.
Yeah. So that's another thing is I think what are they going to maybe they use ETN as the receiving back. I would imagine maybe I'm a little concerned here.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll have to see the practice reports as we get through, but I think I am actually fading the Jacksonville situation because I think it'll be at the very least a 2-headed monster, and it could be. I'd be concerned if I had ETN shares right now, just a little bit. I think by the time the playoffs maybe come around, he's fine, but he's got to get through the next couple games because we could be seeing like a DeAndre Swift kind of situation. God, that would suck.
Man, don't talk about it.
Yeah,
I've been banging the table on ETN all offseason, and then he finally hit. All right.
Yeah. This is the one that I think sneaky here. It's the San Francisco situation. Ooh. We've got Elijah Mitchell out 4 to 6 weeks with the MCL sprain. We have Christian McCaffrey exiting this game a little bit with some knee tendonitis. Okay, has some sort of contraption put on his knee mid-game. Jordan Mason is the only other running back to get carries in the game against the Saints, other than the 2 I mentioned, but that's because he's only active for special teams usually. TDP, I think, is the sneakiest waiver wire pickup of the week. This is a guy they moved up to go get, right? They cut Trey Sermon. He was supposed to be the replacement for Trey Sermon. I'm not saying TDP's wowed us or even looks great, but we know that a nobody off the streets can be good in this. And speaking of a nobody off the streets, I also like a little bit of Tevin Coleman shares right now. Signed to their practice spot for
it. All scares me so much, man. But I see where you're coming from.
Do you know what I'm talking about here? Because San Francisco can be that wheel, that Game of Thrones, that wheel that spins.
Listen, you could put Matt Ryan in the backfield.
No. No. Come on now. No. All right. But I get your point here. And the point is that we can put a lot of people in that backfield and they can make look at this. I'll just show you the Tevin Coleman bullshit we dealt with earlier this year. Right? Coleman came off the practice squad and into a game. Look, I can't even find him.
He's like
he came into the game and scored 2 touchdowns on 28% of the snaps. Okay, this is a guy who scored 4 touchdowns for the Niners when he played for him before. I'm not saying he's going to be this auto start, but he is going to be a guy. Let's say CMC gets shut down for a couple of weeks so they can save him for the playoff run. Coleman could sneakily be the next Jeff Wilson in this offense, and so could TDP. And that's why I think they're both worth a speculative add. And I would actually add both of those guys personally over the Jacksonville backs and over Ty Johnson. I wouldn't add him over Benny Snell, and I wouldn't add him over Zonovan Knight, Bam Knight, a.k.a. What a cool nickname, by the way. His name is cool. His nickname's cool. For a running back, cool. Bam Knight. And I'm cool, and you're cool. These Hall's cough drops are cool.
Are they relieving on your throat?
A little bit.
We got to hit them up for
how it goes. Yeah. All right. Anybody else jumping out to you in this group that we've talked about? Any counterpoints to what I've said so far? with these guys, the sneaky ads, the big ads, anything you're thinking about with those running backs?
I think the only one I want to add is we talked about yesterday before the stream was Melvin Gordon being on the Chiefs.
I like that.
The Chiefs practice squad.
Yeah, I like that.
Any talent in the Chiefs offense late in playoff season for fantasy football, if you have room on your bench, say you have a couple players in your IR spot and or you're in a deep league and he's still on the waivers, like I'd be willing definitely to grab him for a hopeful possible playoff run. And
what Twitter got cute after they picked him up, right? And there was a lot of tweets saying, "Look, Melvin Gordon's better than Pacheco." Okay. And I was like, I don't know, but maybe. Yeah. Maybe. I mean, he's fumbled a whole lot more than Pacheco, but I will tell you, he's probably a better running back. Yeah, right. Like he's got the experience. I like Pacheco's upside, size and speed. He's not a better athlete. No, right now he's probably a better running back. I would agree with that. Yeah, so I think that's something to be said here. And why would they be picking up more backs? Maybe it's a shot at Ronald Jones. Maybe obviously CEH depth is out, but something to think about there with Melvin Gordon. I like that. That was a great. I'm smart sometimes. Yeah, bring up there, my guy. Okay, droppable running backs. Let's take a look. Elijah Mitchell. I think at this point you could probably get rid of him. He's going to be done. Kenyon Drake, Gus Edwards back, looking a little muddled. Cam Akers. This one's interesting because he had one of his highest outputs of the season. 8 carries. Oh, man. He at least had his best yards per carry. Looks like second best yards per carry of the season. 8 carries, 37 yards. I mean, I get it because they're like, the quarterback's out. Dog shit. Yeah, they're shitty. Their defense is No. Dog shit. They are dog shit. So who wants a crappy running back on a crappy offense, on a hurt offense? I get it. But he's still talented, kind of. I mean, the injury's scary, but I don't know if I'd full on be willing to drop him. Maybe for those 2 top guys. But I don't know. I might just hang on. Might hang on another week. Thinking? Yeah. Well, in the listener league, I'm hanging on to him, but that's just because there's nothing else out there. Yeah. I'm okay with shedding the dead weight. I take Zonovan Knight. Yeah, the top 2. Upside, Benny Snell. I might even go with those San Fran backs as like an upshot dart throw over Cam Akers. I think it's time. All right, moving on to the wide receivers. I'm going to let you kind of take this one over here, Donnie. We got Zay Jones, Richie James, Mac Hollins. All season long that Zay Jones has been one of the most consistent wide receivers. Talk to the people here because he's still only at like 35% owned or 39% rostered. And look at his points per game, man. It's very rarely below 10 points. And when it's below 10 points, it's not by a lot. Yeah. This offense has been up or down. That's for sure. That's not consistency, but Zay Jones is the consistency of this offense, I believe. Kirk is the better talent. Etienne's the better talent, but he's just getting those safe plays. And then last week he just went off. What did he have? 25 points? 11, 14, 29 in our listener league. Look, he's got 8 or more targets with no touchdown. 4 games. With no putting up those points. Like, yes, I want him. Pick him up. He would probably be my number 1 ad over everyone. I think of the wide receivers here, I think that's the right call. You'd take him over the backs, though, you think? I think I would. PPR unless I was dying for a running back, of course. Yeah, I think that's the right call. I think you make a good point here because he's got staying power. Yeah. I think of all those guys, so I think that's right. Richie James had a good Thanksgiving. It kind of got lost. It feels like such a long time ago. Gross. He scored a touchdown. It's his second back-to-back games. 14 or more PPR points in back-to-back games. It's not pretty. But they don't have anything over there. It's him and Darius Slayton. So I think Richie James is somebody worth in those deep PPR leagues that you could take a look at. Mac Hollins, I think, would be above. Good. Yeah, I think he'd be above Richie James for me since we've had the injury with, excuse me, our guy Hunter Renfrow, Darren Waller. If you look at what we've got going on here, he's their deep threat. He gets down the field for them. He's had these pop games with 9 and 8 targets. Last week, 63 yards, got a tutty. They targeted him. Sorry for cutting you off. They targeted him in the flea flicker play, a crossing route about 15 yards, and he just took wide open to the house. Like the play was meant for him. Adams was the distraction that took 2 players with him, and they're finding ways to get this man the ball. He's old,
He's not the greatest, but he's fast. He's athletic. When his hands work half the time, they work half the time, and he catches the ball.
He's old. He looks like Sideshow Bob. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. He's putting up decent points. I mean, over 10 fantasy football points last 2 weeks. What was that? 4 out of the last 6 weeks.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm for it.
Yeah, I think he's a decent pickup. I mean, I think Zay Jones is the tier above all these guys.
Yes.
And then you could look at the other guys. Yeah. Elijah Moore, Isaiah McKenzie. They're both some slot receivers that got a little bit of steam because they scored touchdowns last week. Yeah, I think you can pick either one of these up as a stash.
I'm okay with Moore. I like McKenzie a little better than Moore, I think.
I agree with that.
Better offense and more snap share.
I mean, Moore got two catches for six studies. So for 63 yards. So all right. Let's see. Let's look at the tight end position here. Jelani Woods is getting a big bump here. Couldn't remember his name last night, but 9 targets, 8 receptions, 64%. This was without Granson out there. So we got to remember, if he comes back, could be a bad situation. But this was a guy who was a premier athlete, size and speed wise, and had a great game. Targeted in the end zone a little bit too. What do you think about Jelani Woods here? Would you trust it at all, or are you stashing him maybe as a second tight end?
In Dynasty, I want him.
Oh,
now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you do.
100%. Oh, yeah. That being said, this whole organization terrifies me. I think they're going to like Granson more. I think they're just like they are infatuated with Granson. So I think we're just
they have just historically used 7 tight ends.
Yeah, exactly. So we're just going to see Mo Alley Cox, Jelani Woods, and Granson get 33% of the snap share every week, and you don't know who's going to get the ball. So it scares me for anything other than Dynasty.
Yeah, Jersey J bringing up again, the Raiders 2 weeks in a row have walk-off overtime wins.
Yeah, man, don't remind me.
Yeah.
Get out of here. Get out of here. Yeah.
There's nobody really else on the tight end scape right now. That's how bad it is.
Josh Oliver looked nice.
Yeah.
But it's
whatever.
61%.
We had no Likely in that game.
Yeah.
Everybody outside of Mark Andrews is going to continue to rotate. I don't trust anybody in Baltimore outside of Andrews. That's my opinion. Deshaun Watson, if he's out there, even if you're keeping him away from your league mates, I think he's worth rostering on your bench. 60% rostered still. You don't have to start him. Just plug your nose and keep him from somebody else,
Rip him off on your bench. Like, you don't have to like his personality to screw your other fancy guys out of
any other names I didn't mention that you're looking at? Any defenses you're looking at? This week, obviously, Cleveland playing Houston. That's a decent.
Seahawks versus the Rams.
Seahawks for anybody versus the Rams.
Yes, 100%.
The defense of Donnie and Travis versus the Rams.
We'd be out there, man.
Oh yeah, I'd be like Tariq Woolen.
That's
my favorite player. I turned you on to him.
Oh yeah, you guys have the same like height, weight, speed ratio, right?
Exactly.
I thought so.
All right, so that does it for our ads and drops. Let's get into the questions here for Whisper Nation. They've been so patient. And then after that, we will give away this Treylon Burks helmet.
Yes, sir.
All right. So
I'm going to go grab that for
go for it.
You take the first thing.
Jersey J says, drop Mostert, Carter, Slayton, CPAT, or Morrow for any of the waiver ads. I have Njoku. Since we saw Njoku kind of come back, Jersey J, I wouldn't mind taking a shot at those running backs in order that we set them. So Zonovan Knight, Benny Snell, and then one of the San Francisco backs. I think it's going to be TDP, but it could be a 50-50 coin flip over Jordan Mason. So for me, I would be dropping. I want to keep on to Carter just a little bit and Mostert just in case they make a comeback here. But you can drop Moreau. Try and trade him if your deadline's not passed, Jay. But you can drop him, in my opinion, at this point. Jay's
hot.
Exactly. Manuel, I hope you're doing well, man. I love that Lakers Kobe Bryant jersey right there.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see here. Question 2. I traded DK for Stevenson. I needed an RB. My other wide receivers are Olave, AJ Brown, Slayton, Burks. Thanks, guys. I mean, I think this is great. I don't know if you just want some confirmation bias. Stevenson is without Damian Harris in the lineup, you can argue to rank him top 5 in fantasy each and every week that he doesn't have Damian Harris in the lineup.
I saw a tweet that said, "Are we all ready for Stevenson to be the number 1 running back off the board?"
Yeah, that was our guy. Yeah, that was our guy. God, I forget his name.
I'm so bad with names.
Debro.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, Derek
Put that
Brown
out
from
there.
Pro.
I'm like,
yeah, I saw that same one, and I was like, okay.
yeah, I'm not mad at
I
it.
think it's a little hyped, but it's not bad.
Yeah, maybe.
It's not terrible. It made me think about where he's going to go. Like, is he going to go end of the first next year?
I think he's got it at this point, especially if
Yeah.
Harris is gone and they don't pick up another back. I don't know. I mean,
We got to see who they get in the draft. They're always going to draft one or two.
Yeah, exactly.
So we like that, or we hate that. But
and what if that Belichick isn't there next year?
My other, I'm not considering dropping White. Yeah, or Swift. No. Yeah. Made the playoffs in both my big money leagues, 8-4 and 10-2. Congratulations, Jay. Bring home that hardware, brother. Let's go get it.
What's going on, Harris? In my money league, I'm 5-7. I've been fighting my way back. I'm lucky. 5 teams. It's 12 teams, 18 playoff. Five of the teams above me are 6-6. So I can do it. It's possible.
Yeah.
The playoff hunt is here for all of us.
Yeah.
Except if you're 10-2.
Well, no, here, I'll go back. Like, I think you can't give up. It just makes it more fun. So even if you can't make it, you got to keep going and play spoiler, like we've talked about before, against your league mates too.
Yep.
Eric Zubert says, "What's up, gents? What's going on, Easy Daddy? Am I crazy? But since I am low on the totem pole on waiver wire, am I just waiting for his drop? Because I'm thinking of scooping up James Robinson. Am I loco? Well, healthy scratch. So that means they actually could bring him in for this game. I don't think he's a terrible ad. I'd be trying to add Zonovan Knight, Benny Snell ahead of him.
Yeah, I think so. It's weird, man. James Robinson's amazing talent. I don't know what he got traded. That shocked me. Now he's a healthy scratch. That shocked me. I don't know. I don't think you're too crazy, but like he said, I'd grab those other 2 talents in front of him, though.
This is a question for you and for that helmet that you just grabbed. Who would be more of a priority, Zay Jones or Treylon Burks?
I mean, my gut says Zay, but let me look at Burks's stuff real fast. 6 targets, 8 targets, 6 targets, 70 yards last week, 111 the week before. Burks is looking good. That's why we got the helmet. But I'm going Zay Jones still. The floor and the ceiling, I think, are above right now.
Yeah, it's a good combo.
Yeah.
I mean, and here's the thing: is Kirk is not an outside receiver.
Yep.
So Zay Jones can still dominate with Kirk doing his thing too.
Mm-hmm.
So Stevenson will now be my hero RB, says Jay. And you have a barrage of 50-50 backs like Rashad White, Swift, Carter, Mostert, CPAT. Trades are over. Do I grab one of those backs and drop? If so, who? Again, I think it was the Moreau. Foster Moreau, the second tight end you have. Keep Njoku, drop a Moreau, and go grab one of those backs in the order that we said before.
Keep all these guys, I think, over those ones as well. If you had to, I would not drop any of these guys for those guys.
Agreed. But I don't need to be rostering 2 tight ends, especially Moreau with Waller could come back. Renfro could come back.
You don't need to worry about it.
Let's see. Should I drop Darrell Henderson for Kyron Williams, full point PPR? Excuse me. This is an interesting one.
It's kind of gross for 2 different reasons.
I would probably drop Henderson for Kyron. And the reason being is I think Kyron could actually continue to be whole.
Do you want the starting running back on a shitty offense, or do you want the possible RB2 on a good offense? I think I would take the starter, right, on the shitty offense, Kyron.
Yeah, I think that Henderson's path is it's limited.
Yeah,
it's limited by Hasty. It's limited by ETN if he gets back from injury quick. There's just not a lot of upside. Kyron could just basically make them bench Cam Akers again if he could be good enough between the tackles. And in PPR, I don't think Henderson would overtake Hasty or ETN as a pass catcher, right? So I think that's the way to do it there. Donald Trump's hair. Great name. Half PPR. I got Mahomes, Mixon, Garrett Wilson, Amari Cooper, Aaron Jones, and Rashad White. Do I trade Jeff Wilson, Mike Williams, Gus Edwards for Dalvin Cook? Your other running backs are Aaron Jones and Rashad White. Yeah, I'd do this. You get really solid at running back, and you're playing, and White could hold it down. Yeah, I would take this deal if you can, Donald Trump's hair.
You would still have Aaron Jones and Mixon with Cook.
Yeah.
And then at wide receiver stuff.
I didn't even see Mixon. Yeah.
I would do
It's amazing. Love it. Drop Slayton for any other wide receivers you guys mentioned besides Zay. He's not available. So it's really Mac Hollins. What was the other guy? Richie James.
Elijah, Isaiah.
Nah, I'd keep on to Slayton. I think he's got an equal shot as those other guys. Maybe Hollins. Well, would you take Slayton or Hollins?
I'd probably take Slayton still.
I think so too.
I would take Burks over Slayton if Burks is available. Yes. I know he's owned in 68%, but I would keep an eye out for that.
I get it. I meant to say I agree. Man, this thing is kicking my ass. Sorry. Colin Sorge says, would you trade Justin Fields and DPJ for Justin Herbert? I'm 10-2 in a 12-man league with solid RBs. And I have Dalvin, Jacobs, Diggs, Adams, and Chase. So you're talking about I don't think he's going to be back. And DPJ gets a little bit more exciting with Deshaun Watson, but Herbert's kind of back with Keenan Allen in the lineup. He's been slinging it. I think I'd do this deal.
Chance to return.
I'm worried about Fields because even when he comes back, bro, he takes a hit to that shoulder. It's all over.
Yeah, but guess he plays Detroit in finals week.
Yeah, but what does he play before then? He's got a lot of bad matchups.
It's Philly and Buffalo.
Who does Herbert play?
Let's check it out. Herbert's got Tennessee, which is easy, and then Indy and the Rams, which are both like orange, so mid-tier. He was quarterback 3 last week, quarterback 9 the week before, so he is slinging it more. I guess with the injury, if Fields was healthy, I would say definite no.
Yeah, you couldn't do this deal.
Exciting.
You couldn't do this deal if he was healthy.
But because of the injury, because Herbert's looking better.
Try and get a little bit more, Colin. Get a little bit more back in this because you're giving up the upside of Fields. Yeah. And if you're trading him to a guy that's in the playoffs already, that's looking for the home run hit, you don't want to face that guy, and you gave him the home run hit without getting stuff back.
Both Detroit, like the final week too, that'd be
He's 10-2, so he's in a 12-man. He's solid RBs. He's ready to go, but still, try and get a little bit more back. So it's Knight, Snell, then Hasty are the order of the run. So for me, I am punting Hasty for the San Francisco running backs, most likely for TDP.
Get out of here.
So that's
it's Knight, then Snell for me, and then it's whoever you think is gonna do it. Are you going Coleman? Or are you going?
I'm going TDP.
Mason? Oh, TDP.
I'm going TDP, then Mason, then Coleman. That's how I would rank them.
Are you going Knight and Snell before those?
Yes. Okay. Because I think they'll actually be guys you could sneak in your lineup.
I think so too.
We're, part of me is always with this waiver, I'm churning for that the long game. And I feel like I don't want to get too biased here and say, oh, you get the San Francisco backs, but there is some huge upside there. Like if we get, hey, CMC's going to miss some time. We just want to save him for the playoffs. Let's sit him down. I mean, if TDP goes in there and takes that by the horn, that's going to be 20 carries in a nice offense. So,
yep.
Okay, sounds good. He offered Zay Jones, and he's not in the playoffs. Okay, perfect. So you don't have to face him again. Yeah, you get Zay Jones back. I like that.
I like that a lot.
Who is better for the rest of the season, Jamar or A.J. Brown?
Man.
Oof. That's a great question.
What did your gut say? Because my gut, without even thinking about
A.J. Brown.
Mine said Chase.
Yeah, my gut says A.J. Brown because the injury just scares me. If it was all healthy, I'd say Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
But
I like that. They're both amazing.
Yeah.
But let's see. A.J. Brown, I want to see what he's got going on for him soon. He hasn't hit top 15 wide receiver the last 3 weeks. Decently tough matchups coming up. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Chase. I think Chase is gonna come back. I think that offense is starting to hit their role. I think Burrows looks super confident right now, and when his boy Chase comes back, it's gonna be fun.
I'm also a big Higgins stan, so I'm like probably projecting a little of that bias out there too. Emmanuel says, should I roster Deshaun Watson just to prevent my opponent from picking him up? My QBs are Fields and Dak. I could drop Dak or Jacoby Myers. Thanks, guys. Wouldn't drop Jacoby or Dak.
Yeah.
I'd try to if there's no trades, then I wouldn't worry about doing this. I would just keep Fields and Dak because I think even at Watson's ceiling, Fields' ceiling was on fire this year. So you don't want to just leave that on the waiver for free. So if you can't get a deal done because trade deadlines pass, I'd kind of hang tight, Emmanuel. And Jacoby Myers has been solid. He's had a really good floor. So
Kind of like a Zay Jones this year almost.
like a poor man's Zay Jones.
Yeah, Zay Jones beta.
Yeah. After the trade, my wide receivers are Burks, AJ Brown, Olave, and Slayton. Not bad. Mess with that.
So he's got Burks already. So
Would you drop Russ for Love in a super flex?
maybe, probably.
Well, I think it looks like Rodgers is going to play this week. So
Yeah. What are you getting? Like 3 points for Russ? I got 8 points for him in my 20-man dynasty this last week.
Yeah, he sucks.
It's like the worst offense forever, man.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
All right, it's time to get this giveaway done here. Let me just check the email, make sure nobody else joined. As you can see, all the names are in there. And if you're wondering how do I win this kind of giveaway every month? Last month we gave away, it was what was it last month?
The Joku helmet.
No, David and Joku helmet.
Is in the mail. Johnson, I'm sorry. Tomorrow I had a wedding this month. It's coming to you, I promise.
It's all good. It's all good. Let's see. Oh, Chaka in here with one more question before we get going. Last day till the trade deadline. Kubert. Okay, his quarterbacks or Herbert and Fields, running backs Barkley, Jacobs, Foreman, White, Pacheco. These wide receivers are Adams, Amon-Ra, Amari, Watson, Hollywood, Pickens. His tight ends Andrews. Should I make any deals or stay put? 3 wide receivers and PPR. Honestly, I love this team.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, I can't really see
You don't have any glaring weakness here at all.
Yeah, there's none. I mean, you should have a good record too. I mean, there's some injuries in here, but Jacobs and Barkley have been solid all season. Foreman's been amazing.
It is Patreon only, Jersey J. Right now, I don't show you as one of the patrons. I know you're in on the YouTube, but right now we just have it in as the patrons, and I only got 10 in there based on update I just saw. So we'll get you in by next month. You'll get in on the giveaway if you want. Otherwise, this is how we help the patrons out. And it's about time. Should we spin that wheel?
Bad boy myself. He's getting those targets lately.
Oh, I know. Burks
looks nice.
Both of these guys, when we got the helmets, were hurt.
Yeah, and they both look.
And they both have come back. Yeah, so this has been great. All right, let's spin it. Let's check it out.
Woo-wee. Who's got it?
Oh God! Oh God!
Gus Ramos.
Gus Ramos.
Congratulations, Gus. We'll be reaching out to you as the winner of Gus Bus Gets the Traylon Burks mini helmet. Congratulations, Gus. We appreciate you so much and everybody else on Patreon. Do you want to win next week's prize? Get over to patreon.com/the Fantasy Whispers to get it today. All right.
Next month's prize.
Yeah. What did I say? Next week?
You said week. Yeah.
Well, it technically is. Next week is next month. So
that's true.
You know, give me a break here, Donnie. Jesus. All right, we are going to try and make the Thursday night stream happen. I don't know how I'm feeling right now, so it may not go through, but I'm going to work like hell to make it happen. Donnie, any last words for Whisper Nation before we head off?
Oh man, I don't know if I'm lagging right now, but
no, you're here.
Am I good? Okay. Happy holidays to everyone. It's been, Christmas season since November 1st. I know all you Whisper Nation believes that. I know Big Travi believes that. I just want to say happy holidays to everyone. Let's get at it.
We gotta mute his mic when he has this propaganda.
Head over to Patreon if you want those amazing giveaways that we're doing every month. And yeah,
Emmanuel asking here. Link is in the description if on the post there, Emmanuel. But it's patreon.com/the Fantasy Whispers. It's either $5 or $10 a month, whichever tier right now. We're working on getting the tiers straight away. But right now, just know that if you sign up, you're helping us support the dream. And we're also giving you a giveaway every single month. We're going to work on getting the prize set up right now. But Emmanuel, we'd love to have you over there if you'd love to help us out, man. And we'd love to help you out by getting you to win something here.
Hell yeah.
Appreciate you, Jersey J. I'm going to try and work on it right now. And Donnie, thanks so much. Thanks, Whisper Nation. It's been a great show. We'll be back with you this weekend. So for Donnie, I'm Big Travi. We're the Fantasy Whispers. We're out of here. Peace.
Right here. Look at you go. You made it to the end of another one of our videos. Hey, if you still have some questions, I totally understand. Or you just want to join an awesome fantasy football community, head on over to our Discord chat. Link is in the description below. And if you're